Everybody, it's Kevin from the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society. It's been a long time since I've actually released a video, I think a few months now. My attention has been drawn to my fatherhood, so I'm quite enjoying that. And I figured today I'd take a ride and pretty much get out and maybe do a video. Get it uploaded. Please don't mind the watermark. Things have been tough for the last few months. So obviously I haven't got as much work into the channel or the page or even the Hyperborean Operations channel, which we'll pick up soon too. So other things have taken that precedence. So we had our midsummer. It was a little smaller than usual, but we had it, and a good bunch showed up, a bunch of other people. And during our law council this year, we decided to pretty much, the landowner granted us permission to build a hall on it. So we are no longer looking for a 10-acre property of our own, but we will branch out eventually. We're going to start there. We're going to start small, and hopefully in that area we can branch out a little more in a few years. But construction to the hall will start hopefully by August. There's just a lot going on right now. Everyone's got their stuff to do for the rest of the summer, or what we consider modern summer as of right now. Our next big event is November, our second annual Feast of the Inheria. Last year we did one at my place. It was pretty good. It was very packed. We cooked for probably over 50 people, and we toasted around a fire. So we're hoping to actually do something a little more this year with it onto the property. That would be a 3-day camp out, and that brings me to my next thing discussed at our all thing is background checks. All right, so if you want to attend an event, now you have to be background checked. You spend $20 of your money, get your background check, get it sent to our email, and we check it out. We're looking for anything that has sexual offenses or anything of that very specific violent nature. I'm not saying that violence is a horrible thing. I'm not saying it's a great thing. It depends on the nature of it, because men do use violence, whether we realize it or not. That came about in one of the worst ways possible, so we won't go into details about that. But that's what was decided. If you're a local in the area and you want to join the tribe, yes, the background check is still a mandatory thing. You have to attend a moot. Maybe you have to attend a few, something more public. If we have an event that's public, you attend that. And if you're showing your interest, all right, you get invited out to the Grove. From there, you kind of hang around for a while, and then pretty much you go into a prospective period or a probationary period. For those of you that do the whole motorcycle club thing or did it, it's kind of what it's like. It's just more of a religious thing, but there is hierarchy here. There is a level. There is pretty much a caste system being developed, and we're getting to that point. And if you want to prospect for a certain tribe, you have to get a chieftain's agreement, a sponsorship agreement, and possibly an agreement from the other council members. So basically you have to go to a few different people, talk to them, get to know you a little bit, and that's how you basically join what we're doing. We are basically a confederation, or a small group of tribes, European tribes, by the way. And that's basically how the Rural Folk Society operates, or the Wisconsin Rural Folk Society was intended to operate, is like a confederation of tribal affairs and all that. Because we were a tribal people at once, and then we spread out, but nowadays we are getting smaller. And you're talking about demographic replacement and things like that. You're talking about all this nonsense and this mess. A few words I'm probably not going to be able to say on YouTube. I'll get demonetized, if I haven't already. So, but if you want to take part in the temple building process as well, the temple grounds, I should say, the background check is still a thing. Getting to know us, because inviting you on the property is a really big sign of trust. And you know, we've been forced, like I said, to take these measures so we don't get people that are unclear or very undesirable. But I don't know if you haven't heard what's going on in other places. I'm pretty sure you have by now. That's always been a thing. We won't really discuss that too much, but we don't want that happening here. So, another thing that was probably discussed was our priesthood was announced. My apprentice finished out his first year, and he did great during the blow. I gave him a blank slate. It was hard work from the Norina Society that came out in their books, and I gave him a blank slate to play with, and he made a fantastic bloat for his first time up there doing it. You know, he obviously had to read from a binder because we get to that point where we don't have to. Cool. Some guys, not saying they're dumb or anything, they just have to have it. So we allow that training aid. But eventually I'm hoping to get everyone up to speed where we have to read and memorize our bloats and rites and rituals. Speaking of that, this year at the Feast of the Inheritor, there will be an oathing for the Blood Month as well. But our Gothar Stalinga, or the Priesthood of Restorers, has been announced, and right now it's just my apprentice and I, or he's no longer my apprentice, he's basically sworn in. He's a Gothar in his own right, a holy man. And that leads me to thinking a few things too about training others. If somebody wanted to train, they would have to get the sign off from their chieftain. They'd have to be a chief themselves. They'd have to get about 3 sign-offs actually. The person that sponsors them, a friend, and the chieftain. Those words are being vouched because 3 is a holy number. So those are the requirements for that. You'd have to be local. You'd have to attend events. We're not doing this whole over the internet 2-3 states away thing. I'm just very complex about that. That's how my training was, and don't get me wrong, my mentor was awesome. But there's just too much in between. There's something about being face to face that's just better. And that's what we'd rather do. The reading materials that you'll need for that we'll be releasing eventually in kind of a introductory beginning course. You'd have probably about 3 months to get all that together before we actually really start hammering on rites, bloats, and things like that. So it's a long road to get into the tribes themselves. It's a long road to get into the Rural Folk Society, which we don't have dues, by the way. The individual tribes might, but the organization itself doesn't. The Rural Folk, my tribe does not. I just figure that we put enough work in places and do a lot of other things that I really don't need to charge people dues. We need money. There's other ways to get it. But anyways, got any questions? You can hit us up with our email at wi ruralfolksociety.gmail. The website's no longer available. It wasn't getting many hits, so I keep it around. There's also the Facebook page, Wisconsin Rural Folk Society. And we're hoping that, along with a lot of the other traditionalist, pagan traditionalist organizations, that we can actually begin to branch out and do these things, and we can encourage other people in their states to do them. Now it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. You're going to be batting off your trees. You're going to be batting your head off trees. Sorry, I can't talk today. But anyways, guys, I'm going to sit here for a little bit and probably continue on my ride and get home eventually. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.